Hey warriors, right now there's a better version of you that exists somewhere in your mind. They wake up without hitting snooze 3 times. They actually keep the promises they make to themselves. They don't waste hours scrolling when they should be working. They have the hard conversations instead of avoiding them. You've met this version before, usually at night when you're planning tomorrow, swearing this time will be different. Then tomorrow comes. The alarm goes off. And that better version? They stay stuck in your head while the same old you takes over. I'm not here to make you feel bad. I'm here to show you how to actually close that gap. You're already changing every single day, whether you realize it or not. Your body's rebuilding itself. Your mind's processing new stuff. Your circumstances are shifting. Change is happening. The question is whether you're directing it or just letting it happen to you. The real question isn't whether you'll be different a year from now. You will be. The question is whether you'll be different in a way that actually matters. Becoming your best self has nothing to do with being perfect. It's not about collecting achievements or looking successful while feeling empty inside. It's about seeing the space between who you are and who you could be, and deciding that space is worth crossing. Seeds don't wait for perfect weather. They don't spend months planning. They just push through the dirt, even in darkness, trusting something deep inside that says, grow. You've got that same thing inside you, that same drive to reach for more. The journey won't look like you imagine. Some mornings you'll feel powerful. Other mornings you'll barely want to get out of bed. You'll have moments that remind you why you started, and moments that make you want to quit. But here's what matters. Everyone who's ever transformed their life felt exactly what you're feeling. Same doubts, same fears, same voice saying, maybe this isn't for you. What made them different wasn't talent or luck. It was starting before they felt ready. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're not running out of time. You're standing at the beginning of something, and your best self gets built, starting with whatever you do in the next few minutes. If this is connecting with you, hit that like button. Drop a comment. Tell me what's on your mind. Subscribe, because we're building a space for people serious about change. And watch the whole thing. The sentence that changes everything for you might be in a part you almost skip. Let the world know you're done playing small. Type this: I choose growth. Number 1. Look at where you are without lying to yourself. You can't fix what you won't admit is broken. That's the truth nobody wants to hear, but it's the one that actually sets you free. Right now, wherever you're standing in life, proud of it, ashamed of it, confused about it, that's your starting point, not your ending, just where you begin. Here's something that sounds backwards, but it's true. When you accept yourself as you are, that's when you can actually change. You can't hate yourself into improvement. That just keeps you spinning in circles, exhausted and going nowhere. The real path forward starts with looking at yourself honestly and saying, this is where I am. Now what? So what do you actually see when you look at your life? Not the version you tell other people, not the story you've convinced yourself of. What's really there? Maybe it's promises you've broken to yourself over and over. Maybe it's time you feel like you've wasted. Maybe it's relationships that fell apart, or goals that seem further away now than when you started. When you see all that, your brain wants to look away immediately, wants to blame circumstances or other people, wants to build walls of excuses. That's normal, but it's also what keeps you stuck. Accepting where you are doesn't mean you're giving up. You can admit you're out of shape without deciding that's how you'll stay. You can accept your mistakes without letting them define you. Acceptance just means you're done pretending, done hiding from yourself, ready to work with what's real instead of what you wish was real. Think about being lost in the woods. If you refuse to admit you're lost, you'll just wander in circles, insisting you know where you're going. But the second you stop and say, "I'm lost and need to figure out where I am," everything changes. Now you can look for landmarks, make a real plan, move towards somewhere instead of just moving. Your current reality isn't attacking you, it's informing you, showing you what needs attention. And yes, that's uncomfortable, but that discomfort is nothing compared to spending another 5 years lying to yourself about where you actually stand. You don't live here permanently. Acceptance is a moment of clarity, not a life sentence. You look honestly at where you are so you can finally start moving toward where you want to be. Honesty creates freedom. Admitting, "I don't have this figured out," has real power, because pretending drains massive energy. Hiding from yourself is exhausting, but truth gives you solid ground, something real to push against. Epictetus understood this when he said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." You can't change where you are right now, that's already set, but you have absolute power over what you do next. That's where your freedom lives, not in denying reality, but in responding to it with intention. When you stop running from reality, something unexpected happens. The shame loosens its grip. The fear becomes less paralyzing. Because you're not using all your energy to maintain an illusion anymore, that energy becomes available for actual change. Look at your bank account, your relationships, your health, your daily habits, how you spend your time. Don't filter it. Don't justify it. Just look. Because until you can look at your life without flinching, without excuses, without blame, you're not ready to change it. The people who actually transform their lives aren't the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who got brutally honest with themselves. They stopped telling comfortable lies and started facing uncomfortable truths. That honesty became the foundation for everything they built. Take a breath and look at your life with compassionate honesty. Not to judge yourself, not to spiral, but to see clearly. This is your raw material, what you have to work with. And from this honest place, you can finally start building something that lasts. Truth sets you free. Declare this now. I see myself clearly. Number 2, stop fighting yourself over everything. Right now, inside your head, there's a war happening. It's been going on so long, you don't even notice it anymore. One voice says, "Wake up early and exercise." Another says you're too tired. One says, "Take the risk." Another lists every way it could go wrong. And caught in the middle is the real you, exhausted from being your own biggest obstacle. Here's the truth. You don't have energy to fight every internal battle. You just don't. And if you try, you'll be so depleted you can't fight the battles that actually matter. You need to get strategic. Decide which conflicts with yourself deserve attention and which are just your mind creating drama to keep you comfortable. What does this look like? It means you stop trying to fix every aspect of your life at once. Stop criticizing yourself for not having everything perfect while just trying to make it through the week. Look at all the ways you're fighting yourself and ask, is this battle helping me grow or just wearing me down? Some battles are worth fighting. When your alarm goes off and you committed to those quiet morning hours that'll change your trajectory, that resistance is worth pushing through. When you need that difficult conversation you've been avoiding, that fear is worth facing. When you're close to a breakthrough and only doubt stands in your way, that barrier is worth breaking. These forge character, build strength. But then there are the other battles, the ones that just exhaust you. The battle to be perfect everywhere. The battle to control how people see you. The battle to never make mistakes. The battle to undo the past or predict the future. The battle against your own humanity, against needing rest, making errors, having limits. These aren't noble struggles. They're just your ego and fear keeping you stuck. Think about the mental space you waste on pointless conflicts, replaying conversations from years ago, analyzing what you should have said differently, as if thinking about it will change the past, worrying about things that probably won't happen, beating yourself up for not being further along even though you're making progress. All that energy fighting battles you can't win leaves you too tired to fight the ones you can. Marcus Aurelius discovered something profound. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Read that again. The battle isn't with reality, it's with how you're interpreting reality. And that interpretation, that's something you control completely. Your best self isn't someone who wins every internal argument. It's someone who recognizes which battles matter and which are just noise. Someone who can watch a thought that doesn't serve them and let it pass without engaging. So how do you know which battles deserve energy? Get honest about outcomes. When you're in an internal struggle, pause and ask, if I win this fight with myself, will I actually be better or just tired? If winning means you're more capable, more aligned with your values, engage fully. But if it just means your ego feels safer or your comfort zone stays intact, walk away. That's not a battle, that's resistance in disguise. This is how you reclaim massive energy. You become selective. Stop treating every negative thought like an emergency. Start recognizing which thoughts are useful information and which are just noise. The person you're becoming doesn't need to win every argument with themselves. They just need to win the battles that align with their direction. Everything else is your mind trying to keep you busy so you don't actually change. Number 3. Build habits that match who you're trying to become. Between who you are and who you want to be, there's a gap. You feel it when you look in the mirror, check your bank account, in those quiet moments alone with your thoughts. That gap isn't judgment, it's just distance, and the only thing that crosses it is small actions repeated until they're automatic. Here's what changes everything. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Your best self isn't created in moments of inspiration. It's created Tuesday morning when you're tired and don't feel like it, but you do it anyway because you built a system that doesn't need you to feel motivated. Habits operate in silence. They just show up day after day, slowly building the person you're becoming, so gradually you barely notice until suddenly the results are impossible to ignore. Every habit is a vote for the type of person you're becoming. At the end of each day, you can count those votes and see which version of you is winning. Look at what you're voting for with your daily choices. Are you voting for someone who respects their body or treats it like it's disposable? Someone whose word means something or whose promises are meaningless? Someone consistent or someone with endless excuses? Every choice casts a vote. Every action is a statement about identity. Those votes accumulate into your reality. The beautiful and challenging thing about habits, they don't care about your feelings. They don't wait for motivation. They don't need perfect conditions or the right mood. They just need repetition. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. But habits run regardless of weather, mood, or circumstances. And when you repeat something enough, you don't just do it anymore. You become it. This is where most people sabotage themselves. They wake up one Wednesday and decide to revolutionize everything starting tomorrow. Wake at 5 a.m., meditate, work out intensely, eat perfectly, be productive, achieve enlightenment by the weekend. By Friday, they're back to old patterns, convinced change isn't possible. But transformation doesn't work like that. Change is almost invisible. So incremental it feels like nothing's happening until one day you look back and everything's different. Epictetus cut through all the confusion with this simple truth. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. That's it. No overthinking, no waiting for perfect conditions. Define who you want to become, then build the habits that person would have. Everything else is just noise and excuses. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. You need one habit, one small thing that honors who you're becoming. Master it. Let it become automatic, then add another. Build slowly, stack carefully, start embarrassingly small. If you haven't read in years, don't commit to an hour daily. Read one page. If you've been sedentary, don't sign up for a marathon. Walk around the block. If your diet's a mess, don't try to eat perfectly tomorrow. Drink one more glass of water today than yesterday. The size doesn't matter at first. What matters is you do it. You prove you're capable of keeping a commitment to yourself, because every time you keep even a tiny promise to yourself, you're building trust with the most important person in your life, you. You're showing your word has weight. You're proving you're reliable, that self-trust becomes the foundation for everything else. Without it, you'll keep starting and stopping, wondering why you can't follow through. With it, you become someone who does what they say, which changes everything. Your current habits are either moving you toward your best self or away from it. No neutral ground. Every day you're building or eroding. Every choice is investment or withdrawal. And here's the powerful part. You get to decide, right now, which habits you'll feed and which you'll starve. The person you're trying to become is watching what you do today, hoping you make choices that serve them, counting on you to build the bridge between who you are now and who they are. That bridge isn't built with one grand gesture. It's built with one small habit, repeated consistently until it's part of who you are. Then another, until slowly you've become someone different, someone better, someone actually living like the person they imagined they could be. Build your empire one habit at a time. Type this: my habits build my future. Number 4. The people around you are either lifting you up or dragging you down. You know that feeling around certain people where you suddenly feel smaller? Like your ambitions sound ridiculous, your goals feel unrealistic, your dreams seem childish. You start editing yourself, toning down excitement, playing it safe, shrinking to fit their limited view of what's possible. Then there are those other people. After spending time with them, you feel like you could move mountains, like anything's possible, like you remember who you actually are underneath the doubt. There's truth people love repeating but rarely apply. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about what that really means. Look at the 5 people you text most, call regularly, spend time with, their habits, their mindset, their trajectory, what they believe is possible, because whether you realize it or not, you're absorbing their attitudes, adopting their beliefs, moving in their direction. Your environment shapes you more powerfully than willpower ever could. You can have steel determination, but if you're constantly surrounded by people who mock your ambitions, question your decisions, celebrate mediocrity, seem threatened by your growth, you're climbing uphill with weights tied to your ankles. Maybe you're strong enough to do it, but why choose the hardest path when you could surround yourself with people who make the climb easier? I'm not saying abandon everyone struggling. The point is getting intentional about who has access to your energy, time, vision, dreams. Some people function like anchors, some like wind in your sails. Anchors hold you in place, keep you stuck with negativity, excuses, commitment to never changing, needing you to stay where you are so they don't feel alone in their stagnation. Wind propels you forward.